The journey begins with the future of racing. It begins with the rising stars, a mile to prove their future. A test of pure speed. 2 miles of heart, grit, and staying power. This is the last stand. 10 feature races, 1 golden afternoon, where every breath is held, every heartbeat loud, and the fiercest competition on South African turf. This is the WorldPool Gold Cup.
And a very warm welcome to our WorldPool viewers here from a sunny KZN in South Africa, and 10 races on the card for you, and it is the climax of the South African racing season as well. A host of Group 1 races, and we've got a fantastic panel to take you through today's meeting. Let's go and introduce you first to Anthony Delpech, no stranger to Hong Kong. He's ridden there before, and champion jockey here in South Africa, and now racing manager for Hollywood Syndicate as well. So, Anthony, you got some nice runners on the day, and obviously it's been a great season for Hollywood.
Yeah, it's been a fantastic season for Hollywood, and yeah, we've got a few runners on the day, and 1 or 2 are very competitive.
All right, excellent. We look forward to hearing from you about those as well. Our next panelist is no stranger to Hong Kong either, and that's Mike de Kock, who's been victorious in a number of Group 1 races there. Mike, always nice to be involved, and thanks for joining us.
Pleasure, thank you, yeah.
I'm sure you're going to be wanting to go back and raid Hong Kong again in the near future.
Sure, you know, we get the chance, we definitely will, but you've got to have the right horse, Grant.
Yeah.
You know, that's it's a tough playground, so you can't go there guessing.
100%. And our final panelist is also no stranger, and that's Lyle Hewitson, who's a little bit of an injury setback at the moment, but wonderful to have you back in South Africa for a bit.
Yeah, thanks, Grant. It's unfortunate that the injury meant that I couldn't be riding on this big day, but it'd be a great spectacle to watch. And yeah, thanks for having me on the show. Privileged to share it amongst Bonji and Mike.
And as you said as well, you were fairly lucky to get away with what you got in terms of injury.
Yeah, for sure. It was nasty, but you know, we're always lucky that we was able to get up again and carry on. And the injuries are progressing well, and I'll be back fighting next season.
Fantastic. Well, those are the gentlemen that are going to be taking us through the cards. So let's go straight into the first race, which is the Appreciation Stakes. It's a listed event. It's over 1,600 meters. And let me run through the betting. Your favourites, well, they're joint favourites at the moment, and that's number 1, I Salute You, and number 2, Winter Games, currently at 3.3. Guy Gibson's at 6.3. And then we've got number 7, Bus Stop in Hounslow, who's currently at 4-1. We'll be hearing about that runner from Anthony shortly. Seems to have a nice chance in this race. So that's generally the tops. It's about 10-1 and 16-1 bar the rest. So let's start with Anthony. Bus Stop in Hounslow. We've got 2 runners here, but let's start with number 7, which is Bus Stop in Hounslow. Looks to have some nice form.
Yeah, he was very impressive in his last one. He came from a long way back, and he won like a good horse. And I really feel if he finds himself halfway in the race and the speed is on, he'll be very competitive.
He's consistent as well. He doesn't really throw in a bad race, does he?
No, he doesn't. He's a smart horse. I think he's progressing. He's becoming a racehorse now.
Okay, so you're fairly bullish of a big run.
I think he'll be the horse they'll have to beat.
Okay, you've got another runner there, and that's number 10, Imalenzi Yoko Doduma, who Sean Veal gets on board with. Last run a bit disappointing, but form prior to that wasn't bad.
Yeah, his last run, he didn't pull up sound, so, and it was a soft track, so he didn't really enjoy it. But he's had a bit of a long break, so, and he's got a big weight on his back. I think he'll need the run.
All right, brilliant. So you think that you're the horse to beat? Who would be your biggest danger?
I think I Salute You must have a big chance, and Guy Gibson. We
Okay.
did beat Guy Gibson last time out. Obviously, he's a little bit better off at the weight, but I still think we beat him very impressively.
All right, Mike, you haven't got a runner in the race, but obviously you've looked at the form. Who would you be siding with?
Winter Games comes from 2 really poor draws, and his form is pretty similar to most of the Durban horses. So I'm going to go with him at draw 2 now, and the 7, the Hollywood horse, with his 3rd run after a rest, in my opinion, will be a peak run. He's got Pierre Stradum. Looks like he's bowing out. Might be his last day racing, so he's going to be desperate to be in the number 1 box. He'll be trying for his life.
All right, so Winter Games comes into the reckoning for Mike de Kock. Lyle, you've had a good look at the race card as well. How do you see this race panning out?
Yeah, I think that although it's obvious in the betting, I think the 1 and 2, in my opinion, should fight it out. And just from the good draws, they're going to have a good eye on each other, and probably be pushing each other up the straight too. So when you have 2 of the main dangers to put an effort up the alley, I think that's going to stand them in good stead. So I'd probably go 2 over the 1, but it'll be pretty close, and I have respect for the 7, Bus Stop in Hounslow.
All right, so that's the panelists. Looks like Bus Stop and Hounslow certainly needs to be included, and a lot of respect for number 2, Winter Games, and also number 1, I salute you. Right, let's move on. We'll move on to the second race, and this is the WorldPool with Race Coast Debutante Stakes. It's a Group 2 event over 1,200 metres, and let's just take you through the betting first, because the top of the boards is number 1, Princess of Gaul, who was a very impressive winner on debut, currently at 2.3, 230. Number 3, Mystical Miss is at 7.10. And 6, Elegantrix is at 2.9. So those are the top 3 in the betting. It's really 10 to 1 and better the rest. Princess of Gaul, I'll start with you, Mark. That was very impressive first time out.
It was. sometimes you never know what to make of form of horses that win by such large margins, because very often they beat nothing. But it's the manner in which she did it, and she's got the pedigree to go with it as well. And she's in pole position, which is a huge factor over this trip at Grable.
So looking at the times, obviously, it's hard to compare because obviously that was at Scottsville and the other times are resulting at Grable. But the time was quite speedy over that trip as well.
For 1,100, it's a very quick time.
Yeah.
And, there's been a few 1,100 since, and they've been like 1.5 to 2 seconds slower than that. So that is a hugely impressive time. But, again, you're dealing with 2-year-olds. Very few of them are well exposed. There's some that have had 1 or 2 runs, nice pedigrees, won well, can only improve. Tough betting race, if you ask me.
Okay, so that's quite a short price favourite, number 1. But Elegantrix has got some really solid form, and that cracking run behind Direct Hit certainly puts her in the reckoning. But a bit disappointing last time on taking on the boys.
Yeah, it was a bit disappointing, but for me, the manner that Princess of Gaul won last time, at the 400 meters, the race was all over, and getting the pole position, she's got so much speed. I really think she'll be very hard to beat.
Okay, so you're strong with her to be coming out on top.
Yeah, I haven't seen a 2-year-old win like this for a while.
Lyle, in terms of that, you must have seen the replay of that race. It was very impressive.
Yeah, I tend to agree. It was very impressive, and I think with the good draw as well, just puts a few things in her favour. Going around the turn for the first time is always something to consider, but with natural improvement and having the race experience now should come on. And I just passed one of the jocks who worked here this morning at Summerfelt, and he was very complimentary. So I think that just adds to a bit of confidence in the horse.
And the yards have been in great form, Mark.
He's in cracking form, that's for sure. So there's that added confidence of that as well. Craig's going to be very keen to get back in the number 1 box as well after his 2-week suspension. The form of number 3 has actually turned out quite well as well. So, I wouldn't leave that out of anything. The form of that second horse is not bad.
And that was also in a really quick time over the 1,000 as well.
There's a lot of winners come out of that.
Yeah. Okay, so might not be as one-sided as we first make out with Princess of Gaul. You might want to make a bit of a play with the 3 Mystical Miss involved, and also you can't leave Elegantrix out, and possibly even the other runner, Serengeti Sun, who's just had the 1 run for a win as well. So could be quite a trappy race, because you've got a horse like Captain's Envy as well, Anthony, who's got some fair feature race form in there.
Yeah, but I'm just siding with one horse. I just think she's just something special.
Okay, so Anthony, very confident with your favourite here. That's Princess of Gaul, who certainly was impressive on debut. Right, let's move on to race number 3. This is Follow at WorldPool on X Stakes. This is a Group 2. It's over 1,200 metres. And again, a nice competitive race here as well. Looking at the betting, it is number 5, Aristocratic, who's your favourite, currently at 2.7. Then number 1, Rachel Walls at 4.5, along with number 4, Zalatoris at 4.5. And number 8, Shadowfax, who certainly has got some nice form as well, at 5 to 1. It's 8 to 1 and 10 to 1 and better the rest there as well. Let's start with you, Lyle, in terms of how race 3 looks set to be. Again, there's a couple of nice individuals here with some fair form, but Aristocratic is a runner that's got some decent form and was really finishing that race off well last time out.
Yeah, and it's got a sort of a high opinion of the horse, does the yard, so have to respect that, and the runs have been good. I think the betting probably has it quite right here, and I'd have to agree, but I think one horse that could show some improvement still, again, I saw the horse at work the other day at Randkiesfontein, is the number 8 Shadowfax, and I know that Sean's got a decent opinion of the horse too. And I think Mike will know a bit more with the form line through that horse. So, yeah, he's a lovely horse. And I think that, as I said, the betting has it right. But if you're shopping for a bit more value, I think that Shadowfax could be one.
Well, let's go to Mike, because obviously Mike trains Jan van Gooyen, who runs it a little bit later as well. That form line of Shadowfax is quite strong.
It's not bad at all. The form line with Jan van Goor and Shadowfax is probably the strongest form in Joburg at the moment, juvenile form, colts. So that is, I watched him run last time. He was a bit all over the show, pulling, head in the air, never comfortable in running, and ran accordingly. I think he ran fourth. He ran out of the top three. Maybe with the 1200, they're going to go a little quicker. He'll settle better, probably more to his liking. He's got quite a kick on him. But I like the look of the way number 2 won last time out. It's they absolutely lumped the money on luck. They knew the result. He won extremely well. I don't know about the form line, how that goes, but just on the betting confidence of this last start and the way it won, I was quite impressed. But, again, we're dealing with 2-year-olds here.
Yeah.
Any one of the horses we've mentioned now could run unplaced and some others come in because they just keep improving like they do.
And listen, things didn't go his way for number 2 either, Titan of the Turf. He stumbled at the start and he cast a shoe in the race.
Yeah. No,
and he still absolutely
he won like a proper horse.
Yeah. So he needs to come into the player as well. Anthony, how do you see this race playing out?
I think it's a very wide open race. I think 1, 2, 4, 5, and 8 all must have big chances. I don't think it's a cut open race. I think Aristocratic was a bit unlucky last time. I think dropping back in trip might suit him a little bit better. But saying that, the race is very, very hard.
Yeah, he was eased at a crucial part of the race.
Yeah, he's a very nice horse. He's a very smart horse. Dean thinks a lot about him. And it's a very competitive race. But with 2-year-olds, some of them makes more improvement than others. And it's very difficult to choose one.
Okay, so you're not going to stick your neck out?
No, I think in this race, there's about 5 or 6 horses that can win it.
All right, Mark, if you had to have one pick here?
Yeah, tough one. Maybe one goes with the experience of the 5, but as I say, I think the 2, in my opinion, is quite a serious horse. But he's yet to get to any sort of level. The 5 has run at grade 2 level. So, and he was first time out an extremely impressive winner. But I think if I had to nail my colours to the mast, probably go with the 5.
5. Lyle, yourself, if you had to pick one?
Yeah, look, I would like to say that I could be more confident on the 8, Shadowfax, just because I know more about the horse, having been there, seen it, and understanding the form line. But I do agree that the 5 Aristocratic, that first win was very impressive, and probably a horse that after the second start will show a bit more too after running in a big race.
Now, one thing about Shadowfax, they lumped the money on last time out as well. Obviously, didn't get it right because got beaten to 4th position, but shortened in a lot close to the jump of the race as well. That's it for race number 3. Douglas White Stakes. This is a Group 1. First of the Group 1s on the day, and a very short price favourite here. And that is number 1 Golden Palm, who's currently at 1.5. So in the red is number 1 Golden Palm, the Port Elizabeth Raider. And they've had some success in feature races coming from PE to come raid in Durban over the last season. And here's another one from Alan Creef's yard who looks to be well above average. Next best is One Fine Winter at 2.5, and then generally at 16-1 and better the rest. So it looks to be a little bit of a match race here between those two. I'll start with you, Anthony. Golden Palm representing Alan Creef's yard. I mean, he's come to Durban with some really powerful 2-year-olds.
Yeah, Alan wouldn't be bringing her down here if he didn't think she was capable of winning. And when she stepped up to the 1400 last time, she was super impressive. And I think even going the mile is going to suit her even better. So obviously, I think she's the one to beat. But saying that, the Port Elizabeth form is a bit weaker than obviously One Fine Winter, which is a Joburg form, normally a bit stronger. So it is very hard to work that out. But obviously, drawn 1, Richard riding it, must have a lot in his favour. And obviously the horse to beat.
Absolutely trotted up last time.
And yeah, it hacked hope. No, super impressive. And I've heard Alan and Richard speak highly of it.
Now, certainly he's got a nice line because he's sent a few horses to Durban, Mike, and he seems to have a really good bunch of juveniles this year.
Yeah, look, the dogs have been barking this one for a long time as Alan's best. He's got a line with One Fine Winter. He beat her very easily in Joburg. And this filly looks like the further she goes, the better she's going to be. As I said, the word is that this is Alan's best in terms of juvenile fillies. I think what beats her wins. She travels well, obviously that's the key.
Yeah.
But she's got everything in her favour. She's got the form, she's got Richard, got draw 1. Whatever beats her is going to be very good.
I think the confidence that you get from Alan is he's travelled well to Joburg, he's travelled well to here this season, so he certainly knows how to travel a horse.
No, he's done an unbelievable job, and he's done an unbelievable job for Peter Moore. in finding these lovely horses, and this can run.
It certainly can. We're looking forward to seeing this one run, Lyle.
Yeah, I am. Mike took the words out of my mouth. I think this horse certainly has improved, stepping up in trip. Was impressive over 1,000, beat a strong field over the 1160, then hacked up over the 14, and the mile looks ideal from a good draw. Yeah, I agree. Whatever beats the one should win, but I'm not sure anything could unless, like you say, travel or any unforeseen circumstances.
Well, One Fine Winter, I think, looks to be the horse that actually can put the puzzle together, because she's been beaten by Direct Hit as well, which was also Allen's. So he's got a fine line. He knows exactly what the difference is between them. So he'll know what he's got here.
Yeah, no, look, I think he's got all the cards there, and this filly looks super smart.
And they haven't stopped coming for her. She's just, I think she opened up at 5-1 in the anti-post around there, and they've just been firing her every single day.
Yeah, she should be 5-10 or 5-1.
Wow. All right, so it looks like it could be a favourite who comes home in race number 4, the Douglas White Stakes, the Group 1. Very impressive is number 1, Golden Palm. She should take a power of beating. This is the WorldPool moment of the day, the Champion Stakes, another Group 1 race, this time over 1,600 metres. And taking a look at the betting, it is joint favourites really, and that's Tin Pan Alley, number 7, and number 10, Malmesbury Missile. Those two top the boards currently at 2.3. Then next best is number 4, Chronicle King, a nice winner last time out, who still looked a bit green in racing as well. That one at 7.1, and then Jan van Gooyen, Mike's horse, at 8.3. So we'll go straight to Mike de Kock, because he's got a horse here that seems to be doing really well, and that last run was full of merit, because that was a nice win.
Yeah, he's a decent sort, definitely. Tough, big, strong horse, ready for this type of competition. Good draw in his favour. The mile's going to be right down his alley. He's improved, as he's gone over a little bit further. I think a big runner.
And your Jock Callan's riding at the top of his game as well.
Riding very well. He's really come back a polished rider from Australia for sure.
So you'd be optimistic at those odds. He's worth including in everything.
There's no doubt in my mind. I mean, it is quite an open race. There's a few horses here that, like Chronicle King last time turned the form around at about 7 or 8 lengths with Tin Pan Alley. So it's hard to fathom the form. I like a bit of number 6 if you want an outsider. Don't leave this horse out of anything. He powered home last time, ran very well in 1100. Okay, it's up in class. Charming Cheetah was drawn 13 last time, drawn 8 this time, so he should be better off. Malmesbury Missile was sort of powering home last time. Shouldn't have any problem with this trip. So I think this is not a easy field.
And Tin Pan Alley ran a cracker. Also was involved in the bumping.
I think he was hanging. He caused more of the bumping than anything else. Strictly on form, Chronicle King should have him. But, as I say, you can see how the form turned around from Chronicle King running 7 lengths behind him, then all of a sudden beating him.
Yeah.
So that is a bit of a conundrum. So, yeah, but at the end of the day, my horse has got to draw. He's tough. He's fit. He'll make them run.
There could be some value to be had there.
I think so.
Excellent stuff. Anthony, how do you see it? Obviously, you've heard from Mike now about Jan van Gooyen, who has to be respected. Chronicle King, and it was quite a messy race, that race last time.
Yeah, it was a very messy race, and I think the result could turn around this time, because there was a lot of interference. This is a very competitive race, and obviously Malmesbury Missile, Tin Pan Alley, Chronicle King, and Jan van Gooyen, those are the 4 for me. I think I can't pick a winner. Only thing about Mike's horse is the 3. He's never been around the turn, and the others have been around the corner. But obviously, if he's a sensible horse, he's got a good draw. So if he gets
last time was around the turn.
At
Yeah, 1400.
Not Gravel.
At Gravel, yeah. He's been around the turn at Gravel. Haven't been around the turn at Gravel for the first time. So that's the only thing against him. But listen, very competitive race.
When he got beat, Mike, to Shadowfax, that wasn't a bad one either, because Shadowfax came out and franked that as well.
Yeah, he did. And Shadowfax had the run of the race. We were drawn 1 and he got the lead off us. 1 at Turfentine, honestly, is a bad draw down the straight. I know it's all down the straight, but it really is a bad draw, because they just they seem to jump away from the field, lose ground. He committed early and did most of the donkey work with Shadowfax sitting behind him. So it actually was a good run. And we were giving Shadowfax 3 kilos. When they met at level weights, then he beat him fair and square.
Okay, the hard knocker, Lyle, is number 10, Malmesbury Missile. He's had the most starts, and obviously he's been competing at some serious levels in terms of feature races as well. Not disgraced last time out. Richard jumps on board. He goes the mile for the first time, and looking at his pedigree, that shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, I agree. The draw could be tricky, but he's
Yeah.
a horse that sort of is able to get back and really quicken up. So I think race shape's going to play a part in the result for this sort of horse, but obviously very talented, very consistent. So pretty sure he'll be somewhere up there in the first 3 or 4, regardless, and definitely got a winning chance. But I agree with Anthony. I think the numbers would be 3 Jan van Gooyen, 4 Chronicle King, 7 Tin Pan Alley, and 10 Malmesbury Missile. Having seen Tin Pan Alley gallop on the turf at Randkiersfontein, quite impressive type, and I thought, like you said last time, a lot of bumping. It takes a bit out of a horse. So, yeah, I think that there's probably a bit more there on that result, and seeing Chronicle King turn the form around so much, I'm not sure if one's improved or one ran below par last time. So I'd probably put my colours on the mast and say Tin Pan Alley, but any of those 4 in any order would be where I'd be looking.
Tin Pan Alley, Mark, is by the United States, so I think he will appreciate the extra.
There's no doubt. He's by Galileo, the United States, so he's nailed on to go the trip.
Yeah, so I think that certainly plays into his favour as well. So it could be Tin Pan Alley, but as you heard from the panellists, you've got to include 10 Malmesbury Missile, you've got to include number 4 Chronicle King and Jan van Gooyen for Mark de Kock. Certainly a bit of value there, and Mark confident of a big run. Mercury Sprint, it's a Group 1, and it is the 1200 metre contest here, and a cracking field has been assembled, and it is a really wide open contest. Taking a look at the betting here, and here your favourite is number 13 Tenango, who's currently at 2.3. He's going to be your warm order favourite. Next best in the market is number 4 I Am Giant, who's currently at 6.3, and also number 9 Buffalo Storm Cody at 6.3. It's 8.3 about number 7 Just Be Lacquer, and also number 6 Questioning is at 8-1. That one's had a little bit of support in the early market as well. Nice race here. I'm going to start with Anthony because they've got runners here as well. And I Am Giant was a very impressive comeback run last time out.
Yeah, it was a very good win. It was his second run after a break. And this is his spot-on run, his third run back after a layoff. And he's really doing well at home. He's got a very good draw, which a lot of the fancied horses, he's got poor draw here. So I think it's in his favour. But I do think number 13, Tenango, is the horse to beat. I'm hoping he's going to give us too much start and he maybe not get to us. But he is I think he's the best horse in the race.
He's been pretty impressive these last couple of starts, the way he's won. And he's also coming back off a tieback. So that's always nice when those work, those operations.
Yeah, no, he's been super impressive. And he's a horse that makes up a lot of ground. I mean, his last win, he came from stone last to win. So I don't really think the draw is going to be any of his problem. I think he just needs to get a clear run. But saying that, I'm a Giant is doing really well. And a filly you can't leave out is a Sia Pambile. She was very unlucky. She should have run second last time out. She got cleaned up the straight. And she loves the trip. So she'll she could finish in the placing.
Nice to have Keegan on board there, Keegan de Mello.
Yeah, fantastic to have Keegan back on board, and Keegan knows her well too.
All right, so certainly the filly comes in with a decent shot. Mike, what do you make of Tenango and the draw of 13?
Tough at the draws. I mean, it's a weight for age race, so we've got to really sort of rely on ratings here to tell us who the best horse in the race is. He's a 126. He's right up there with William Robinson, 128. I was disappointed in William Robinson last time. His last 2 runs, he hasn't done much, because he's a very serious racehorse and over sprints. They just kept him sprinting. At the ratings, I don't think you can leave him out. But at the end of the day, I think what beats Arm Giant wins. I was very impressed last time. It's a 3rd run after a rest. It should be a peak. His acceleration last time was unbelievable. And he rode a cracking race. If he rides a similar sort of race, I think they've got to beat him with a draw in his favour. Obviously, Tenango is another one at the ratings, but he is going to have a lot to do from that draw, and I can probably see him sitting almost stone last. So he's going to have to go some to get past quite a few nice horses here, and horses that are really peaked and fit. So if he can outsprint them, he's going to be good, but he's got a lot to do from that draw.
I looked at a horse like number 6 Questioning, who ran behind I Am Giant last time out, 4 kilograms better off this time round. That's got to put him, because he was only beaten 4 lengths, that's got to put him in the play, and he might be a bit of value.
He is the one horse that is quite a big swing in the weights with I Am Giant. He was drawn 12 of 13 last time, where Tenango is. As I say, you can virtually put a line through form like that. It's his next run up here, and if one goes back to his Give Me a Prince gladiatorian form, a huge runner. There's
Yeah.
no doubt, Grant.
I
Definitely.
think he's great value there as well, especially
Yeah.
with the weight turnaround. Lyle, how do you see the race handling?
Yeah, look, I didn't expect you to miss that, and hence why you brought it up. But that's what I was looking at too, with the 4 kilo swing. The form prior to that I Am Giant run is as good as it gets over the trip, and I think number 6 Questioning could certainly be one of the main players here. I do respect the way Tenango won, and I think he's a really smart horse. You'd probably like him in a draw half as deep as that, just so that he's not all the way at the back. But with the likes of Sergey coming from a wide draw and a few other quick horses, I think the pace will be on, which could set it up for Tenango. But yeah, I think that there could be a fitting story to end the season for Hollywood. They've had a fantastic season, and a Group 1 to boot would really put the cherry on top. So yeah, I think the 4 I Am Giants from Questioning and Tenango.
Yeah, certainly keep looking at Questioning, and even those runs behind Gimme the Prince. Mike, if Gimme the Prince was in this race, he'd be favourite.
No doubt. There's absolutely no doubt about it. So, I mean, those are very, very good runs. And again, we keep coming back to the draw. This is a very draw-biased track. You can see horses that have been drawn 11 and 12 where they finish. Next time out, they're drawn well, just in the form. Anthony and Lyle know more about that. You need a lot of luck from those draws, and you need speed. And if the speed isn't on, you've got no chance.
Let's put you on the spot, you guys. Anthony, your first pick here.
No, I'm going to go for I'm a Giant. I know how much he's improved from his last run. I'm lucky enough that Sean Veal galloped Tenango 2 weeks ago at Greyville. So
You've got a bit of inside edge
so
there
yeah,
as well.
he just, as Sean says, he says, you know what, if he was drawn better, he'd beat us. He says, but at the draw, if he has to give me too much start, I don't think he'll make up the ground.
I think as Mike pointed out, the draw bias of this track is crucial. Yourself, if I put you on the spot,
Yeah,
Mike?
I'm going to go with that, with the 6 and I'm Giant, definitely, based on draws, and I like the form lines. I just think Tenango's going to have too much to do from there. We may be wrong.
Lyle, first choice?
First choice, probably leaning towards Questioning. He comes in the draw a lot, and with the weights swing on I Am Giant. So look, it'll be a close race, and I just think he's got more in his favour going into this run. Although I respect how well I Am Giant's doing.
The WorldPool Gold Cup. It is a Group 3 contest, and it is South Africa's premier staying race. It's over 2 miles, 3,200 metres, and your favourite here is number 4, King Pelez, and he's going to top the boards. Interesting runner, this horse, King Pelez, because he stepped up to the 3,000 metres last time out, and he ran an absolute cracker. Next best is Madison Valley. He's also thereabouts in the betting, but it's going to be quite an interesting races, and not many 3-2 races, Anthony, that we get nowadays in South Africa. But this race has always been one that the people want to win. They want to win the Gold Cup.
Yeah, it's obviously the best staying races that we've got here in South Africa, and obviously I'd like to win it. I'm lucky enough to have won it once in my career.
Your whole career.
Yeah. So very, very good race.
All right, in terms of you're going to have any runners, King Pelez seems to be the biggest improver the way he's been going about his business.
I just like the way he won last time. He missed the start. He was towards the back. He made his move really early around the turn before the straight. I thought he had gone way too early on him. And he still won very impressively. On that manner that he won last time out, I really think he'll take a lot of beating.
All right, so he's going to be your first choice. Holding Thumbs ran a much better race behind him last time out. Is there any way that he can reverse the form? He seems to like that draw of 11. That's where he was last time.
Yeah, he races forward, so I wouldn't really worry too much about the draw over the strip. So he'll bet up in first or second. So, yeah, but just the manner that King Pelez won last time, I felt he wasn't, not saying he wasn't given the best rides, but I thought he pulled the trigger a little bit early, missed the break. He did everything wrong and still won impressively.
All right, so Anthony's on the 4, King Pelez, who is an obvious first choice. Mike, Madison Valley, also a nice horse who's got some decent form behind the Real Prince.
He has. That's obviously a pretty good run in the July. There's no doubt about it. But the real class over 2 miles is King Pelez. I think whatever beats him wins. He's defied, penalties, turnaround at weights with other horses. He's just got better and better. So I'm really bullish about this horse. I think he's a real class stayer out of a Galileo mare. He's just getting better and better. The 3-2, I think, is going to be even better for him, an extra 200. And he's a horse that's not devoid of speed either. You know, he runs quite well in the shorter trips that he uses as preps. So I honestly think that they've all got to beat him, and they're going to have to go some with a spread of only 5 kilos top to bottom. everything's in his favour.
All right, so King Pele is for Mike. Lyle, are you in the same camp?
Yeah, for sure. He was mightily impressive last time. As Anthony said, wasn't great out, was far back. The race was run slow, made a move early, and he still looked like he got slingshot in at the top of the straight. So he was very, very impressive, and the further they went, the further he was going to win by. So very hard to turn the tables on him. He's got most of the horses he beat on paper, and I can see him just doing it again.
Mike, number 12, Never Joe Nation, is a runner that ran behind, not far behind, Immediate Edge as well. So you'll have a bit of a picture of that. Is that form good enough with 55.5 to be a runner here?
I definitely think he's got to be one to be considered. He's also by the United States, son of Galileo. There's no reason that 3-2 is not going to suit
You
him.
might even like it, being out of a Shaw's mare as well.
Exactly, out of a Shaw's mare. He stepped up last time to the 2-2 and ran a great race. I mean, just got beat by Otto Lucan, whose form was pretty hot. One definitely to consider, there's no doubt about it. But again, I just think the real class lies with King Pele's.
Okay, so it looks like King Pele's is going to be the firm first choice for our panelists, and it's going to be a cracking edition of our Gold Cup here over the 3,200 metres. The Hong Kong Jockey Club Champions Cup, another Group 1 of 1,800 metres this time, and an absolute cracking race this. And there's always been a theory that if the horses that missed the July coming into this Group 1 have a bit of an advantage. Might not be quite the case this time around because the Real Prince didn't have a prep run going into the July, so he might be fresher than some of the other July runners. But let's go straight to Mike because he trains number 4, Dave the King, who is currently topping the betting boards along with the Real Prince. There's not much separating them. The Real Prince is at 2.8 and Dave the King at 3.3. Then at 7.10 for Fire Attack number 8. And also for number 5, See It Again is at 7.10 and 6.3 Gladiatorian. So that's the betting here as well. But Mike, Dave the King, very impressive winner last time out once again. That was over the 1,600. The 1,800 hasn't been a problem for this horse. He's won this race before. How's he been doing?
He's doing well. I mean, this is obviously top end. He has won the race, as you said before, over 1,800. But essentially, I'd say he's a brilliant miler. But he's in good form. As you say, he missed the July. He comes in fresh. We did much of what we did last time with him. His horse that he has had well-documented issues. He's a far better horse at sea level for sure. The Real Prince is the unknown in that he's at a rating of 125. I think he's still got a big plus sign next to him. Whereas we at 128, I don't think we're going to get better than 128. So he's obviously a real danger. Another horse I've got a lot of respect for is Fire Attack. I think this is a really good horse. I'd love to have seen him against 8 on 18 when the two were at their best, because 8 on 18's, 3-year-old form is good, but I think the Cape 3-year-old form is pretty moderate, apart from 8 on 18. Whereas a horse like Fire Attack has run with, horses like Royal Victory as a 3-year-old at weight for age. He's a really, really smart horse. He comes off a pretty good run last time, second. I think he's a horse that for me is the one I almost most fear, because I think he's a real class act.
Yeah, he's got Richard in the saddle as well, which is a major advantage. Richard's ridden him once before for a win.
Yes, but as I say, he's a real smart horse. He's had his issues. He does go second run after a layoff, not always in their favour, but Alec Ledd's a top conditioner, and top conditioners tend to get around those factors sometimes. But he certainly is a horse that is, as I say, would worry me a bit.
Okay, Anthony, in terms of this race, a lot of people will be making it possibly a 2-horse race.Maybe you can throw in a horse like Fire Attack as well. But the Real Prince will certainly have his followers now after winning the July.
Oh yeah, he's definitely going to have the followers. He's a real smart horse, and he's shown in Hollywood Durban July where we had doubts about him saying the trip, and the manner he quickened was really impressive. But saying that this race is really, it's nice to see good horses running in a race like this, because every horse in the race is a decent horse here. Yeah. And it's a real serious field. I think the Real Prince, myself, I think you can't leave a horse like Gladiatorian out. I think Gladiatorian...
Probably better going back in trip, isn't he?
Yes, I think the trip was too far for him last time. He didn't run a bad race in the Hollywood Durban July. I don't think you can leave him out. Dave the King and Fire Attack. I think those are the 4 horses. See It Again also must have some sort of a chance.
Gladiatorian actually another stride or 2 beats Dave the King last time.
Yes.
So
he was flying, wasn't he?
He was absolutely flying. So again, he's also needs to be respected.
And he comes with a late run. I think with Dave the King, obviously, he's always up there handy, and that the two horses that might be chasing him home, the Real Prince, who finds a really good finish, and so too Gladiatorian.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to set the race up for them. But having said that, he's a very strong galloper.
Yeah. No, he doesn't stop, does he?
He'll make them work to get past.
Yeah. There's going to be an absolute cracking contest. Lyle, if you had a choice of a ride in this race, who would you be siding with? Who would you want to ride?
I would side with the Real Prince only because I know that from that draw I'm going to get on the back of someone like Dave the King, who's going to be within a length at the worst at the finish. So if I know I've only got to get past that one, and it's probably going to be the horse to beat, I know I'm going to be in the right spot. So I do think it's really tough though. One of the things that does concern me is when you stretch yourself out to 2,200 meters and then come back in trip in such a hot field where a horse like Dave the King has used the same preparation into this race to go and win it. So that probably makes it difficult for him. But the one horse I think can really improve on his own form lines, although he's held against a lot of these horses, is See It Again. I thought that that run to Gladiatorian was very impressive. And although missed the July with a small setback, I don't think it was too much to worry about, and comes in with that little bit of freshness, which seems to bode well in this race. So, but very, very good race. But I still think that Real Prince and Dave the King are probably the two that'll fight it out. In which order, I'm not sure.
Well, one thing's for sure about See It Again, he's got into a little bit of a pattern of like an average run, a good run, then an average run. He's due for the good run again.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think the trip's going to be ideal for him.
Yeah, and he kept Pierre around for much longer than he was supposed to be after announcing his retirement. So, I think that shows the quality of the horse, and Keegan gets an opportunity aboard him. And hopefully Keegan can do it for the connections.
All right, so let's go and get your predictions then. Anthony, your first pick.
I'm not going to have a first choice. I think it's a very difficult. If I had to pick a horse, I actually think Gladiatorian is the horse to beat.
Okay.
I think he's got a good draw. He's been beaten by David the King, but was drawn poorly. I think he's got a good draw. He's going to have the run of the race, and he's got a great turn of foot. I'm going to go for him.
All right, Mike, you're obviously going with Dave.
Yeah. Surprise.
Lyle?
Yeah, I'll probably lean towards the one, just with positioning and the shape of the race.
Well, three panelists, three different ideas of the winners. So it just shows you it could be more competitive than what the betting suggests. And as we said, See It Again can't really be left out either. This is Bet with the World on the WorldPool. It's great to have WorldPools here in South Africa. And this is the gold bracelet. It's a Group 2 event over 2,000 meters. Taking you through the betting here, you've got Knockout, who's at 8.3, 7.1 for My Soulmate. And your favorite is number 7, Rainbow Lorikeet, at 2.9. And she ran an absolute cracker in her last start as well. Let's start with you, Lyle, this time around. Obviously, a cracking fillies race here, and fillies and mares race here, and fairly open as the betting suggests.
Very open. Can make a case for almost all the horses in this race. I'd say obviously Rainbow Lorikeet comes out of one of the strongest form lines, being the July, with horses like Real Prince and what ran behind that. So I think that probably a worthy favourite, or at least one of the most fancied runners. 7 can be a tricky draw, but I think that stable jockey Domer gets back on, knows the horse well, and deserves to be one of the leading chances in this race. I could make a case for a few others, but if I had to really stick my neck out, I'd probably be going with the 7 Rainbow Lorikeet.
All right, so Rainbow Lorikeet, your tentative first choice. Mike, how do you see this race as well? If you look at the form line of Rainbow Lorikeet, when she ran behind Double Grand Slam, she finished 4.25 lengths. VJ's Angels also finished 4 lengths behind Double Grand Slam. So if you're liking Rainbow Lorikeet, VJ's Angel, who's already got the Group 1, has to come into the play.
Yeah, she's been a bit disappointing of late. And, I just don't like horses that run 22 lengths, then 2, then 5, then 7. That type of thing. She's a bit in and out for me. Rainbow Lorikeet is the class. There's a lot of weight turnarounds with the other one, Little Susie. She's a bomber's got a lot of weight turnarounds with filly she beat last time. I think you might get a bit of a result in this race because it's quite. I think it's quite more open and cut and dry than Rainbow Lorikeet. Mocha Blend, filly highly rated, ran very well last time. There's a full My Soulmate. She's got
solid form. Yeah.
Solid form. She's got a Little Susie form. Turnarounds of the weight there. Turnarounds with She's a Bomber. So I see punters going. I mean, if I was taking a pick six, I want the field, yeah, really.
Yeah, you want to put everything
You
in.
know, it's once you start dissecting the form, yeah, there's too many that can win.
You know, even a horse like number 2, Knockout, Anthony, has to come into the play.
Yeah, I think it's a very competitive race. Knockout can win. My Soulmate must have a big chance. Rainbow Loroki must probably be my first choice. And Little Susie must have a serious chance.
Now, would a horse like My Soulmate, Mike, would that have travelled Joburg, Durban, back and forth for those 2 starts?
Yes, she's gone backwards.
How many do you think that'll put pressure on if it's a third trip in a short period? Not
You
really.
know, I mean, it's worked for some.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of them not run that well 3 times backwards and forwards, and especially fillies. You know, that can upset them a little bit.
It has to be a little bit of a concern.
Yeah, I would just say it's a slight negative, but her form is really good.
Yeah, she's a solid runner. Okay, so probably the hardest race on the card. I won't ask you to put you on the spot to find the winner in this race, yeah, because I think it is wide open. But certainly the horses that we've mentioned have to be included in your selection process. Hong Kong in December, Umgeni handicapper. It's a 1,000-meter listed event. And let's take a look at the betting here. And topping the boards at 4 point, it's at actually number 7, Outlaw King at 3.00. Then 4.6 about Future Variety. And then 8.3 King of the Gauls, who won the race last year. And then 10-1 and Better the Rest. So interesting race again. Anthony, you've got runners here in terms of the Hollywood connection. And that is Lion Rampart and Hit Them Hard Sunshine. Both of them fairly generous in the marketplace. Are you expecting decent runs from them?
Well, the draws is firstly going to be very difficult. Over 5 furlong drawn 12 and 13. And saying that Hit Them Hard Sunshine is not the easiest horse. He's really aggressive. And I think from that draw, he's going to find it a little bit difficult and maybe over race and not get cover. Lion Rampart, he's only had 1 run since he's come from Cape Town. And he ran a very good race. And Gavin Lorena jumped off. He says next time he'll have a serious chance. But obviously, he jumps up in class. It's a much stronger field. I think Outlaw King must be the horse they'll have to beat. But Future Variety won very impressive last time. I thought that was a very good one.
Now, she had her supporters. I mean, he had his supporters that time before, finishing behind Tenanga. There was some betting support for him at Scottsville from 16-1 to 10-1. So he was fancied then, but he got it right next time out. Yeah,
although it was on the poly, it wasn't the strongest field last time out. So I think Outlaw King must probably got the strongest form, and his last run was really a good run. But I wouldn't be surprised to see Lion Rampart run a place.
Okay, so you could be value for an each-way prospect there as well. Anything else that catches your eye in the race, Anthony?
Rodeo Drive must have some sort of a chance. I think it's a very competitive race. I think if I had to go, my number 1 would be Outlaw King.
Okay, Outlaw King for you. Let's go to you, Lyle, in terms of this race. Again, I think the draws are going to be a critical factor.
Yeah, I do think so. When I look at it on paper, I thought a horse like Outlaw King wouldn't be out of place in the Mercury. And, that's why coming in sort of a lower grade race, I think that he deserves to be the horse to beat, in my opinion. His form's really strong, and, that form behind I Am Giant, we'll know more about it early on in the card. But I just think he's, on paper, he looks like the horse to beat. The main danger, in my opinion, Future Variety is drawn wide or outside of him. So he should be able to navigate his way to make it difficult for that horse. But yeah, I think that you could probably narrow this down to a few horses with those 2 being your main 2.
I think Outlaw King's last run was a cracking effort, Mike, and he was doing some good work in the closing stages, and he has to be the horse to beat.
He is. I mean, 5 furlongs, yeah, it's a tough race again to find a winner. You need a lot of luck in running. Yeah, these wild draw horses are under such a disadvantage, and if they don't go absolutely flat out, again, they've got no chance finishing from the back of the field. King of Gauls is a horse that always finds betting support. There's always talk around, but he seems to be very in and out. He runs some great races and then some terrible
exactly
races.
What you spoke about earlier, with too many bad runs in between.
Yeah. So it's hard to like a horse and to like him from draw 11 as well.
Yep,
he's got to absolutely ping the gates to have any chance. But there's a few. There's Unbaldi, not a bad filly. Gelding, sorry. There's just so many horses here with chances. There's nothing really that jumps out to me. Maybe the Outlaw King, we talk about maybe the class. Future Variety started out so well, so promising. He won at a progress plate conditions last time. He was a handicapping certainty. So he really needed to win. But it may have done his confidence the world of good. If you look at his Siasha, Jemkin form, over 1,105 furlongs, you know, that's got to be respected. And as I say, that win last time might have just given him the confidence to now bounce back and win at a very good level again.
I do like what Anthony said about number 12, Lion Rampart. Just looking at his earlier form, he ran close up to arguably the best 3-year-old in South Africa at the time, One Stripe. That form line certainly good enough. If he brings that type of form to this race, he'll have a massive chance.
Yeah, he needed his last run quite badly, and we're actually riding him differently now. He used to jump in and go to the front, so last time was the first time we actually rode him from behind, and Gavin said it is perfect. He ran on well, and he'll come on a lot from the race, and you know, he just need a lot of luck because he's going to be ridden from behind, and obviously hopefully he's not too far behind, but this race they're going to go 100 miles an hour. They're really going to go fast.
He was quite a character in Cape Town. He had a few quirks, didn't he?
He did have a few quirks. That's why he had the blinkers on early, because he ran right across the track. So I think he's learning to now race properly. He's doing very well at home, but he's going to have to give him a better start.
All right, let's go to best bets on the card, and I'll start with you. Lyle, who do you think probably stands out for you as the best bet?
You haven't given me enough time to make sure.
That's why I gave it to you first. Mike and them are very pleased.
I think it's really difficult to go best bet. Who I'd be leaning towards is probably the earlier races where they're not as competitive. Maybe from draw one, that Princess of Gaul, just with the natural talent and natural improvement after that first victory, which was so impressive. So maybe that's all you can lean towards, but not much value around there.
Okay, Mike, yourself?
Golden Palm, in my opinion, stands out on the day. It would be, I mean, if I was taking a pick six, I'd bank her in everything. So I'm either going to be in or out after the, what is it, the fifth race?
Yeah, the fourth race. Yeah,
fourth
she
race.
certainly sticks out there.
She sticks out for me. And yeah, I'll go with my own horse as well.
And Dave the King. Anthony?
Yeah, I think Lyle was spot on. I think that maybe that's the best bet, but there's no value there. But I'm going to go with I'm a Giant.
Okay.
I think you get a bit of value there. The horse is really doing well at home. He's improved from his last run, so I'll make him my best bet.
Excellent stuff. Well, that's a wrap from us here, and great to have our panelists come and join us. Hopefully find a winner or two for you, and we look forward to being with you come Sunday here in sunny KZN. Thanks for joining us, and have a good evening.
The journey begins with the future of racing. It begins with the rising stars, a mile to prove their future. A test of pure speed. 2 miles of heart, grit, and staying power. This is the last stand. 10 feature races, 1 golden afternoon, where every breath is held, every heartbeat loud, and the fiercest competition on South African turf. This is the WorldPool Gold Cup.